remember one summer though, I was like working. I was like 16 years old or something. It was my first job. I was working at the store. But whenever I got off my shift and wanted to go back home, Cardcaptor started immediately, and that's when I would watch.
Yeah.
I know nothing about no keys. Hello and welcome to the Pens and Pixels Huntercast. I'm your host Cal G. To my left is the Hunter Coordinator? No, Hunter Exam Coordinator Extraordinator. Mike Kent.
Mike Kent, yeah.
There you go.
We got there.
There we go. Finally. If you don't know, the Huntercast is it's a place you come to if you want to hear about the latest chapter in the Hunter X Hunter Manga.
Yeah. We do a weekly review of the latest chapter that's come out and has continued to surprise us by coming out.
Yes.
Every week I'm like...
Although I have startling news about that, maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll hit that later.
Yeah.
Where we review the latest chapter, we bring up our favorite points, what we think is the best part of the chapter, and then, of course, our speculation about what's coming, and speculation of the mysteries and fun stuff that's come up from each chapter as they come.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're hitting on chapter 359.
Yep.
Juicy.
The departure. Which apparently is a departure.
It
the
is,
last one wasn't the departure.
Yeah, and that's what I said too. I was like, I literally need to see that fucking whale take off from the dock, and this one opened with taking off from the dock, and I was like, yes, vindicated.
Yeah. But the thing was, is the last episode, chapter started off with, like, they're already, like, murdering each other, and they've got, like, health problems and stuff. I'm like, what an awful set of human beings.
It's true.
Like, they've been on the boat that's next to land, still docked for, like, a day, and they're already like, let's start crime.
Yeah. It'd be like if the Titanic immediately started sinking off the dock, and you're just like, oh, man, like, maybe we shouldn't set sail. But no, you gotta march forward sometime.
Yeah. So, yeah, the whole chapter starts off with the launch, and kind of a more clear description about what the whole journey is going to be. Well, at least the public view of what the journey is going to be, because we get later on in the chapter a little bit of a different look.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the public just thinks they're going to this new continent to populate it, right?
Yeah. So it's like the new dark continent that they're trying to get to, and they have to take like a month journey out to the rim of what they currently thought was the world, refuel, and then keep going out to the dark continent, as I quote in the air. And when everyone gets there, they're supposed to disembark and explore and like see the new world, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, I think it's literally the next page. Yeah, it's literally the next page. The Zodiacs are meeting, and they're talking about the actual deal.
Yeah.
Is that the Dark Continent is this a continent in between?
Yeah.
It's fake, and they've always known about it. But after that, which they discussed earlier in, like, way earlier in the chapters, they have to reach a big wall or gate. Or
something like that.
Where they have a gate master they have to meet. And then they go through to the actual Dark Continent where they leave the princes and their silly feud and the masses behind. And I guess just the hunters get to go that far.
And beyond Netero.
And beyond Netero and stuff, yeah. So that's actually super cool. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like I said, I went back and I started reading over the chapters that have come out since the anime stopped, just to go acquaint myself with what was going on.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 years, I think.
It's been so long.
Something like that in between some of these things. So it's just like, all right, I got to catch up a little bit. And I would not have known who this motherfucker reading the book was if I had not gone back.
Yeah.
It's that secretary, the dude's assistant who he brought into that laboratory with all the twisted skin onion people. The dude who, like, he doesn't need to eat.
Yeah.
He's like self-sustaining, basically. He's in that fucking glass cage or whatever.
Or like
it was.
being exposed to him killed people or something, like he has a disease now or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
they still want to like come in contact with him, and he has that weird stare.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some fucking cool things in that lab.
That was a good one.
But yeah, he was in there, and he was given a book to read about all the horrible stuff in the Dark Continent, so he'd know what's going on.
Yeah, like the only kind of like written account of what's coming, right?
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah.
Which he does show up in a later chapter, and they have a really quick discussion about how it's like he's very important to keep around because he's the guy who is in the know.
What do you think? What do you think the point of this beyond like thing with the three of them guarding him?
Well, I was trying to figure that out.
Is this foreshadowing for something? Is there going to be?
I think it's a foreshadow because the whole scene with Beyond Netero is like one page, and it's just a couple of Zodiac bitching about having to guard him. But the thing is one of the Zodiacs that's guarding him is the traitor, the monkey.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's building up to him getting out. And the monkey's going to be left as the only solo guard to roll through the rotation.
Maybe, and then, maybe Beyond just takes him out immediately.
Or, like, he's how they get out, and then the cow like is worried about it, and they try and stop him from getting out or something, right?
Could be.
And Netero hides on the ship somewhere to try and get to the continent first.
Yeah. I can see that.
I think that's maybe what it is. It's a very random one-page weird entry.
It's set up for something, we just don't know what yet.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen, and we're going to see, like, Beyond Smile in one panel, like, everything according to plan. Yeah.
One thing is in the next page, like, they do this thing where they're like, here's Deck 3's Center Medical Facility, and they're talking about, like, all of the ridiculous stockpile of supplies they have.
Yeah.
And then Deck 4 was the Royal Troop meeting room, and then, like, Deck 3 had a courthouse. But they actually probably have a law system on this ship. Like,
yeah.
It just to give... I love that about his writing is, like, how he just, like, just goes there.
Yeah.
To describe out everything. Like, the fact that the ship would be so big.
It doesn't even seem like... Yeah, it doesn't even seem outlandish for this to happen. It's like, yeah, of course there's a courtroom. There's a law system here.
This is now the world of the whale.
Yeah.
Like...
The SS Cookie Puss has laws, and you must follow them. So, okay, the real cool part of this chapter is that dried out corpse.
Yeah, that's the next page, right?
So, me and Mike immediately had different thoughts on what this might be.
Yeah.
And Mike's probably right, but because my first theory was seeing this person drained of blood was that it was the spider troop member
with the vacuum.
She can suck up people's blood and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I assume there wouldn't be like, how many holes is it? 12 holes all over this?
And large holes, because when she sucked the blood out, it was through its pores, like...
Yeah, wasn't it just like one fell swoop type thing?
Yeah, and it wasn't like big holes in his body, it was just through pores or cuts that he had already had. From
yeah, and like, who's that other fucker? Is his name Franklin? He has the handgun, like the finger guns, like... I don't know why I would have drained that person of blood then. That's the only other thing I can think of with
There's
holes.
probably some other ability to his ability, but I don't think that's what it is.
But Mike had a better theory.
I thought it was one of the Nen monsters from the princes.
Mm.
But I'm currently thinking of the monsters that it is. I actually think it's the little princes that they're guarding, right?
That we didn't get to see.
Yeah, because like the little prince had that like flare of...
Had the darkness come out of him, whatever the fuck it was.
The monster, right? And it was in response to the mother's fear and trying to protect her, right?
So, was it coming out, or was that just like a Nen aura?
I think it was just an aura.
An aura that Kurapika saw, and maybe he was like, oh.
I think a flare of aura, yeah. What I'm thinking, though, is that the guards that have been assigned, because they cover a lot of the information about the guards, like, Kurapika goes over and it turns out that, like, he's the only one who knows what's really going on, right? So I think that the team of guards that's been assigned to the little prince, the baby prince, is all hired, and the little prince is responding to the threat, and his Nen monster is now running around sucking the blood out of all of, like, these obviously not legit guards. And that's why Kurapika is naturally inclined to thinking that someone on the team is bad, is because he immediately is like, shit, I don't know who actually is in the know, who I can trust.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll whip out my chain and figure out who is like a good guy or a bad guy.
Well, and he asks people, he's like, which one do you have Nen? And they get kind of like pissed about that, right?
Well, they don't even know what it is. One of them, like, is that a superpower or like a lunch meat or...
Yeah. Is that what he says? Is it a lunch meat?
I don't know. I can't remember what they say, but I know he tries to bring it up.
No, yeah, I thought, the one batch of guards didn't know what it was, right? And then I thought the other one, I could be totally wrong here.
No, none of them knew what it was. But they just basically spelled out that none of them were in the know, and that they felt that, like, they were more closely tied to the prince.
No, this other dude who says, like, why would you bring up the topic of Nen among those people?
Oh.
I guess he's not one of the guards, though.
No.
Is he one of the royal guards? What the fuck is he?
I don't know. There's a mystery behind all of this, right? Like, as to why these groups have been kind of assigned. So I'm kind of interested to see where that kind of pans out. Because it never pans out the same place with this guy.
No, I don't think I've been able to predict, like, many things in Hunter overall. So.
I'm like, almost never.
He said, why did you bring up Nen in front of those guys? So I don't know who those guys are. Because, you're right. The regular guards were like, what?
Yeah.
But
which is why I think he's, like, testing them out. Is because, like, they're not in the know. They might just be hired assassins from another prince or something. So I think that's the Nen monster. If not, the only other Nen monster, it would be...
I mean, we only know of one other one, right?
Yeah,
Titty
it is
monster.
that one. Like, so it could be a randomer one from another prince.
Yeah, it's just going nuts for some reason.
Which brings us to our first little introduction to a little bit more of the princes with that, right? When they go to the ballroom, the ceremony hall.
Yep.
So you get to see the big guy who's a fighter. I think we had a chapter with him before where he was like...
I've seen his design before.
He enjoyed, like, punching things and ripping their throats out and stuff. I think he fights a lion.
Yeah. was going to say, I don't know what you're talking about, but I remember
that. Yeah. So he's the guy who likes to fight. And then we meet two princes I don't think we've ever met before, which are the little princes. It's a girl and a guy? Or is it two girls?
I think that's two girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
They say they're like peas in the pod and they're really close together. And they're acting so cute and they're going to go off to talk or something?
Besides, the two of us have some girl talk to go over.
Okay,
yeah.
So they're girls.
Yeah.
And then, as per any usual suspect thing, I guess she's blonde.
Yeah,
white hair is usually a bright colored hair. And she's just, like, obviously snaps, and she's all like, well, they go into like a isolation room first to talk before they leave. And she's like, we got to kill all the other princes.
She says, I don't know if we were reading the same translation, but she says, don't go saying my fucking name so casually, idiot. Now listen up. Let's work together and kill off all the other princes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I see.
I don't get that. Say my name so casually?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, how does that inspire confidence? If I walk up to you and I'm like, don't you fucking look at me like that. Now help me.
Yeah, like, now you're on my side.
That obviously would inspire loyalty and trust.
Well, and she says, yeah, lay that down here. She says, you understand? Smile, shit for brains. The cameras are watching us.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like the Wet Bandits. It's like Marv and, like, what the other guy's name is.
I don't know, but I know what you mean.
It's just the one guy insulting the other one the entire time. Marv!
Just get the fucking mop.
I'm Joe Pesci. Marv!
So this is also the first view we get of Melody in a while, which I love that character.
I really do too, yeah.
Like, how is it a testimony to his writing? Is how do you fall in love with this balding, long-haired
because there's a tragic story. And it's also, I think, I personally, one of the reasons I like her is because she's one of the few people you've seen Kurapika bond with outside of Liario, Killua, and Gon, you know? He's very much a, like, loner mentality, so, like, the fact that he would be drawn towards anybody is...
Yeah, but I also even put together that Melody is the only true, kind character on the entire world of Hunter x Hunter. No one else is truly kind. Not even Gon.
I was going to say Gon's mom. Maybe.
Well,
not a huge character, but that's the only one I can think of.
I guess. I mean, I guess you can kind of try and prove me wrong here, but out of the main hunters and all that, anyone who's capable, like, Melody is a true, kind person.
Yeah.
And it's like making the heart of a team, in the way that, like, in The Walking Dead, Carol was for a while, where she was just, like, this sweet lady who was there to help everyone. And, I mean, she obviously kind of changed that perspective later, but...
Carol went mad in Walking Dead. It was great.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler for anyone listening. She didn't really go mad, but
no, but she got
there's some good shit.
She got some skills.
Yeah.
But Melody's like just this pure little heart of like everything. So I love seeing her pop up again, and then like reading into the character and being like that. Even this angry face is a fake face. Like she's just putting on this big show. Like it's just all false. It makes you wonder, like, she's going back to her room and crumpling in a ball and, like, you know, breaking down.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
She's adorable. An adorable little rat-faced girl.
No, Melody or the...
Melody.
Yeah, Melody's not going back down and cracking down. I'm talking about the princess he was reading into.
Oh, I see. Or she was reading. I thought you meant, Melody would go back and crack down in her. Just because, you know, she looks like this.
I'm a little mole person.
Yeah. She just, every day she wakes up happy and then she looks in the mirror and she's like, fuck, still.
She put on makeup and she's just like taking the lipstick and just drawing it around her face. You make yourself pretty. Whore. Dirty whore.
Man, that would be a real out of character chapter. That's what we start getting for filler. So then we see a bunch of more crumpled bodies with a bunch of holes in them. They're all drained of their blood, too.
But more of Kurapika's guard team.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, report scheduled 3 minutes ago. And then Kurapika, badassily, that's not a word, badassily, his finger chains come out.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we saw those.
What does he call them? Do you remember? Judgment chains?
Yeah, Judgment? No, or is that just the name of one?
No, it was just one.
Judgment
He has a name for the whole
set.
I can't remember what it is, but I love that design because like they started off with Kurapika, right, and they had him using the two little wooden sticks, which I thought would turn into something he would be using continually, like Gon's fishing pole. Like none of the original weapons kept.
No, like Killua had a yo-yo.
Well, even then, like Killua's first weapon was a skateboard.
Right.
All he did was just kept using the skateboard to take things out.
That's right. Yeah.
And then it's just like all that's gone, and then it was like his hand thing, which is fucking genius. I love that. Like the breaking or like molding your bones into make your fingers into blades. That's so good. Anyways, and then it turned into just ultra heavy yo-yos.
Yep. Which is sick.
Yeah. And then Gon just gave up on all of it and punches things real hard.
Yeah. He doesn't want to think.
And Lerio actually had a dagger or maybe even knives hidden in that suitcase.
Was it a knife? Or was it many knives? I don't remember.
He had a little like I think it's called Nondachi. It's like a little dagger, Japanese dagger that's about like I don't know, a foot long, and it looks like one solid piece of wood, and then there's just a slit where it slides open, and it's a long knife.
Interesting. I don't remember that.
He had that for a little while, and then it was gone. It was like his only weapon. He kept pulling it out, and then just not doing anything.
I just remember having his briefcase for a while.
Yeah, in his briefcase.
Like, what are you fucking doing? Get rid of that thing.
He kind of ditched it, but then when Kurapika developed his Nen and he turned it into those chains, I was like, oh.
Like, that's way cooler.
Yes, and each chain had its own little ability.
Chain jail.
That's it.
No, chain jail? No, that's not. That's just one, isn't it?
Maybe.
I think that's just one. That's the one where he restricts
Yeah.
Crollo. And it has him like...
I wish I could remember the name of it.
Yeah, I don't remember the fucking name of it. That's fine. And apparently we can't Google it either.
Yeah.
It'll be a mystery. Woo! Anyways, pulls out his chains and his little gun.
He pulls out a little gun.
Who needs that? Imagine he pulled out a wooden stick. It'd be way less badass.
Yeah.
No, I got a fucking gat. Step out my way, motherfucker. I'm Kurapika.
He's a gangsta now. He is gangsta because he's a gangster.
Yeah, and he's totally, he's in a suit. He's like a fucking, Boondock Saints?
Yeah.
He's Boondock Saints all over. And he ends with, if you lie, this chain will spin.
Yeah, because he's going to use his dowsing chain, right? Because the circular one is the one chain I think he can use without any restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he can't use that.
No, the only chain that he can only, or the only chain he can only use against spiders is the heart one.
The heart one, yeah. No, but he said he could use it to put it on a restriction on Gon. I can't remember.
The heart one?
Yeah, because he said he could put the chain to Gon's heart when they were talking about the spiders and stuff. He said he could totally put one on Gon.
Oh, I thought there's only one that he couldn't. At first, I thought his powers were only for spiders completely, and I was like, that seems like a waste. But then I found
he keeps it as an illusion that would be the case.
Right?
But then there is only one chain or one ability, and I think it's the Nen locking one to stop their Nen from being in use. I think that's
that could be it. The one that locked Crollo's.
Yeah,
could be.
I think that, and also like when he wraps it around and it stops their Nen from working anymore. I think to capture the spiders, right? Because the chain he envisioned in his mind is an unbreakable chain.
Yeah.
And then that chain became the chain that removes their Nen, so when it's wrapped around them, they can't use it.
Yes.
And that becomes the one that he can only use on the spiders. All the rest.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's going to interrogate the rest of these motherfuckers.
Yeah. And we're going to find out if any of them are spies, which I think maybe a couple of them will come forward, and that's when Suction Baby Monster comes out.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be.
Because I think in the next chapter, and this is our predictions for the next chapter, I think the next chapter is going to reveal the first Nen monster outside of Titty Monster.
Sure.
And it'll be the babies.
Nipplezilla.
Nipplezilla.
Yeah, I could totally see that. The baby like finally rearing his ugly head.
Yeah.
I also predict that we'll see a spider somewhere in the next chapter.
I don't think we're going to see anything with the spiders for
a
long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think we're going to see them sooner than you think.
I think this chapter is going to this mini arc is going to switch over to being nothing but the happenings on the boat. Really
I think the spiders are on the boat.
I think they are too, but I think they won't even show up.
You just don't think they're going to make any sort of... They're just going to lay low?
Yeah. And they're going to pop up by the time they get all the way to the actual Dark Continent. Because they'll know what's going on, and they have no reason to do anything until they get there.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I thought they wanted to steal the prince's treasure, though. Or was it just treasure on the Dark Continent?
No, that's just treasure. They said they know that they're going to something extremely rare, and we're going to steal it.
All right, okay. You could be totally right then. Okay. Here, do you like...
Yeah.
I remember at the very beginning I told you, like, the tidbit I had?
Yeah.
This chapter finishes another full volume of books.
Oh, does it?
So they can release, like, volume, whatever this is, 42 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So he could just stop. He could just stop now and roll in those sales from this new volume that he's finally completed, you know?
Did he say anything at the end of the chapter?
He didn't. It doesn't say. It says the steam whistle of departure was the starting gun for the killing game. That's real. But There's no indication he's going on hiatus, but he
the
technically
perfect time.
could.
It's also the perfect time because now is the official launch of the full next arc, right? Like, the ship is on its way.
The ship is finally moving.
Everything's happening now.
It's perfect. It's perfect for him to fuck us over.
Yeah. But usually when he takes a hiatus, he does usually write the thing.
It usually says, yes, it usually says, so. But, that's the thing. With being a fan of this series, you have to constantly live in worry.
Live in fear. Yeah, you're in a constant state of fear going, oh.
I think already we've gotten a pretty good string of chapters, luckier than I thought we'd be.
I've never had, since I started reading Hunter, a week-by-week update.
No, I don't think so.
Continual, because even the Ants arc, for a while, it ran and continued to, have weekly chapters for, 4 weeks. And suddenly it was, 3 or 4 weeks with none. And then his hand started getting bad again, and the art got awful, and it would be there were chapters every other week or so, but they just kept getting worse until he just stopped.
Yeah.
And there was this dead stop in the middle of the Ant thing, which I think literally stopped on the fight with Netero versus the King.
Fuck that forever.
Where it just sat there with them, standing in front of each other right before the fight even started, and that was it. And that chapter held for, a year.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, alright, this series is dead. And then it kicked in, finished the Ant arc, right? And then it disappeared again for
I saw some interview where he said when he was young in his 20s he could draw on his stomach, but now he can't do it anymore because of his back, and his back's all shitty and whatever.
Yeah.
Do you ever draw on your stomach?
Lying on my stomach?
Yeah. No. I literally never do that.
I could never.
I don't even know if I could.
I could never.
It'd be weird to me to do that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've got any good arm movement.
I've done it sitting on a couch, curled up.
Sure. I can't, I would never lie on the ground on my stomach and do it. I thought that was a weird, I was like, oh, that sucks, and I was like, but why would you? I just stared in the air for a while. I was like, what?
Maybe when I was 5 and I was coloring with crayons, and I was just yellow balloon, red monster, sunshine, green hill.
I have a vivid memory of being, what year did Space Jam come out? 1996?
Oh my god, this is going to be my memory, because it sounds very similar to something I had.
Okay, so it was 1996, 1997, around there.
Yeah.
I was 6 or 7 years old, and I'm lying on the ground, and, or no, it was just before Space Jam had come out, and I'm lying on my stomach drawing. I have a very vivid memory. And, I'm drawing this thing, and I drew this monster, and I called it a Monstar. And I thought it was the dopest name. I was like, this is fucking inventive as shit. I am the greatest artist alive.
And you're already swearing at
no. This is what I would have been thinking if I had this mind now. And I was like, I'm the shit. And then I remember I don't know if I looked up or what I there's a Space Jam commercial on, and it had the quote from one of the guys the green mean team? Well, we're the green team, what the fuck they said. And then he's like, we're the Monstars, and I was like, huh? And I must have heard that earlier in the day from the same commercial and just been I'm so, but I remember resenting them for a long time. I was like, they stole my idea. They were watching me, and I was like, and then as I slowly grew up, I was like, they probably weren't watching me. Warner Brothers probably didn't have a spy. Monstars, really not that clever of a name.
I'm sure someone said that long before.
Yeah, even before that.
Yeah. I had a similar one was, I was sitting and drawing, and I was lying on my stomach. Or the one time I actually was lying on my stomach and drawing, and Warner Brothers. Actually, you know what? It might have been Who Framed Roger Rabbit came on as one of the free movies or whatever, and I was starting to copy them, and that was my inspiration to kind of start drawing.
Sure.
Yeah. Mine's less funny than yours.
Yeah, mine. I was art thieves, rampant.
A deranged little child who's sitting there being I'm the fucking best.
Yeah, that was me. And it wasn't even what I was drawing. I remember it being it was a monster centipede or something. It wasn't even a basketball ogre.
So, as closing then, what do you want to see happen next?
What do I want to see happen next?
Yeah.
I want to see the spiders come out and Kurapika could be motherfuckers, I hate those guys. I hate those guys. And I want to see him lose his cool and be well, I gotta kill him. And then they're like, the baby, and he's like, gotta do it! I gotta murder them. And then he's gonna leave, and then some shit goes down with the baby, and everyone else is like, Kurapika, the baby is getting back in! And then they all panicked, and then I want to see something like that go down. That's clearly not going to happen.
Clearly giving us some thorough thought.
What would you like to happen?
Plus, Kurapika's going to change in attitude.
Yeah, but I want to see him go through this shit. He's going to be like, no.
Well, not even then. He's usually this horrible, murderous kind of.
I want him to be. Yeah, what I want him to be if a fox heard a rabbit was on board or something, on board the same boat. Yeah, what? Tell me about this rabbit.
You just see him scratching at the door.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see him. I want to see him lose his cool because he's always so calm and collected, even around the spiders. But it's been so long, and he's collected so many eyes.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him like if he still even has that grudge.
I would be really cool as part of that, which isn't really what I want to see. But I mean, like I want to see it, but I don't think it was going to be the thing I'll see anytime soon. Is Hisoka being on his mission to kill, right? And then like Kurapika just kind of like getting pissed off that he's not the one doing it, but then like they both go out and just like start like murdering on like as much as they can.
There's this cool scene of them slowly walking towards the
or
camera.
making even not even that, or making a bet with each other about who can kill the most spiders before they get the Crollo.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I cannot see Kurapika like being into that, but
yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I couldn't see him.
Yeah.
I feel like both of them would just want to do it on their own completely. I couldn't even see them making a bet out of it.
No,
it'd be more like a stay out of my way thing.
Hisoka might have fun with it though.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
He seems like a man on the mission right now, though. Like just straightforward.
Like,
let's do this.
I'm going to use my little rubber leg and I'm going to get around.
You see him pogoing around on one leg like a flamingo.
He would.
Boom, boom.
For me, what I want to see, I kind of want to see other stories and characters happening now because like we're getting so focused in on Kurapika, and we've been so focused in on like the Zodiac and like the politics of everything, right?
Did we ever see what happened to Ging? Jing?
They were trying to get off the ship, which was the whale ship, I thought.
Yeah, I don't remember now. I still haven't gone and reread those, so.
I haven't seen anything. So yeah, like I want to see that.
Do we have to go check back in with him soon? Like, is that because Gon isn't integral to this, Killua is not integral to this, so like we're not going to be leaping back to them. But Ging might be a possible.
But Jin is because remember they both backed out of the Zodiac to go kind of do their own thing and get to the continent in their own way.
Right. Yeah.
That kind of deal. So like they were just going to get on the ship and just go. So they're on the ship somewhere. Pariston, and Gin are both on there, so I want to see what's going on with that. I just kind of want to get a little bit more ramped up with what's going on the ship, more than just like we got it. Like it's big, it's got lots of stuff on it, and people are.
We're gonna be juggling like 8 different storylines by the end of this.
And that's the thing. I kind of want like some of these stories to come to a head before they get to a certain point. So I want like the Prince thing to come to like its full head.
Like you want to see a climax and then another climax soon after that. Not all at the same time in the same chapter.
Yeah, kind of thing. Not like it's all kind of like coalescing together what's happening on this ship. I want to see like the Prince thing run up, start seeing some of them die or something.
Yeah,
like just like focus in, not so many different things because. The thing that got me, that the part about this chapter I disliked, was that you had one-pagers that were story parts. Like
I didn't get why there's
Beyond Netero. Like why?
Yeah, I don't know why Beyond. That might be set up. I didn't get why we touched on the secretary. That was totally like. He was like, "You guys might need to read this too if I die," and they're like, "Nah, man, it'd be fine."
Yeah, but just like one page.
It was very like, all right. Yeah. Is that just to, like reestablish like? He's here too, like, remember him? Like, maybe that's it. He'll play a bigger role. Who fucking knows?
You could have spliced it in better ways, and I just kind of, like, I'm tired of these little, or I didn't like these one-pagers. I want.
Understandable. Yeah. And, well, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. I mean, maybe some of you out there have gotten, it's because it's so convoluted, you guys have put together some mystery that we don't know about and haven't put together.
We would love to hear from you, what your predictions are, what kind of Nen you'd like to have.
Have you made a cool Nen power?
Have you made a cool Nen power? Tell us. Email us at meetpensandpixels@gmail.com.
Or tweet at us at Pens&Pixels.
On Twitter.
So it's Pens and, like, letter N, Pixels.
Pens&Pixels. No and. Or you can tweet at me, at BCalG. You can tweet at Mike. Mike Kent Draws.
Yep.
Yeah, look at me go. And yeah, we'd love to hear any of your theories, ideas, fan fiction, whatever you want.
I don't know if I want to open the fanfiction door.
Okay, well, no, we're not reading fanfiction. But if you have any questions or concerns or whatever the fuck...
If you forward us fanfiction, we would read it. Just because some of them are so funny.
Sure, if you want to email us bad fanfiction, I will read them on the air. Yeah, that's great. But until next time... Goodbye!